All right, let's get right into it. We are going way back to look at a single software release that honestly completely changed how business was done. We're talking about the moment Oracle E-Business Suite went from being stuck on the desktop to living on the web. And trust me, that was a massive, massive deal.
And look, that is not an overstatement. The year 2000, it really was this moment where the old way of doing things was about to slam right into the new, unstoppable power of the internet. Companies are running everything on software, but how they got to that software was about to be turned completely upside down.
So, to really get why this was a revolution, we have to understand what came before it, the old regime. We're talking about a world built on a model called client-server. It was the standard back then, but it was packed with some major headaches.
And this right here, this term, thick client, it gets to the very heart of the problem. Just think about it for a second. Every single time a new person joined the company, or you had to update a system, someone from IT had to physically go to every single computer and install this huge, clunky piece of software. It was an absolute nightmare to maintain. Slow, expensive, you name it.
This really paints the picture of the day-to-day pain, doesn't it? You had IT departments just constantly running around, installing, patching, updating software on hundreds, maybe thousands of machines. And if you were a user, well, you were basically chained to your desk. The only way to get your work done was on your specific office computer that had been set up. The kind of flexibility we just expect today, it was pure science fiction back then.
But then, something new came along. A spark. In the late 90s, the World Wide Web just exploded, and it wasn't just for looking at websites anymore. The really smart companies started to see it as the new delivery platform, the new standard for getting powerful applications to anyone, anywhere. This timeline just lays it all out, right? You see the old client-server world, then you see the web just bursting onto the scene, and then, boom, Oracle makes its move. The release of E-Business Suite 11i wasn't just another update. It was Oracle planting its flag, saying, we're all in. The future is the web.
So the big question is, how did they pull it off? What made 11i so different, so groundbreaking? Well, it wasn't just one single thing. It was this powerful combination of 4 key ideas that all worked together. Let's call them the 4 pillars of 11i.
And here they are. First up, browser-based access. That was the key that unlocked users from their desks. Second, a unified suite, which finally let different parts of a business actually talk to each other. Third, a modern tech stack, built from the ground up for the internet. And finally, global reach, because business was already going worldwide. This combo, this was the secret sauce. Let's dig into that unified suite idea, because this was huge. Before 11i, a company's most important info, finance, HR, supply chain, it was all stuck in separate systems. They couldn't easily share data. For the first time, Oracle pulled it all together under one roof, and you could get to all of it through a simple web browser. This was an absolute game changer for how businesses operated.
Okay, so we've seen the tech, but what did this actually mean for people, for businesses? We've talked about the what, so now let's get to the so what. How did this jump from the desktop to the browser really change the day-to-day reality?
This right here says it all. The old way, that nightmare of installing software on every single desktop, gone. It was replaced by just opening a web browser. The chaos of trying to maintain all those separate machines, gone. Replaced by centralized IT control. And being stuck at one desk, gone. Replaced by the freedom to work from anywhere with an internet connection. It was just a massive, massive win for everybody. And the scale of this was just mind-boggling. We're not talking about a few early adopters here. We're talking about millions of people all over the world who for the very first time were running their company's most vital software inside a web browser. It really democratized access to crucial business information.
And this is where you really see the strategic genius of it. By going all in on a fully integrated web suite, Oracle just leapfrogged its competition. I mean, at the time, SAP was still pretty tied to that old client-server model with R/3, and PeopleSoft was more focused on its niche. Oracle came in with a complete, modern, web-native solution for the entire company. It was a huge bet on where the world was going, and boy, did it pay off.
So as we start to put a bow on this, it becomes so clear that this was way, way more than just another version number. The release of 11i left a mark on business technology that we can still see today. It truly cemented Oracle's place in history.
When you boil it all down, the legacy of 11i is this. It became the digital backbone for thousands of companies around the world. It completely redefined how people even thought about using business software. And maybe, most importantly for Oracle, it proved they weren't just the database kings anymore. They were a true, dominant force in enterprise applications. And you know what? That is the perfect way to say it. By taking that bold leap and moving its entire e-business suite online, Oracle didn't just follow a trend, it led a revolution. And it changed how the world's biggest companies would run their businesses for decades to come.